Ladies and gentlemen, recently I did a few videos on the water situation in Jackson, Mississippi. And Joe Biden said he wasn't going to make any visits there, but he did speak on it, which is absolutely useless if you're not going to do anything. And we spoke about in the new black media how so much money has been poured into Ukraine now that there is a state and people in need of help, and they haven't offered one red dime, which brings me to this story. US sends more than $2.6 billion in Ukraine related military aid. So more money is going to Ukraine, but there's an immediate need for money to be in Jackson, Mississippi right now. But that is being completely ignored, ladies and gentlemen. They got brown water and went days without water coming out of their faucet because of low water pressure. And remember, they ran out of bottled water, and they're still not out of trouble. They're still having a lot of problems. But Ukraine seems to be the highest on the agenda here in America. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio for you from the Wall Street Journal.
U.S. to send more than $2.6 billion in Ukraine-related military aid. The funding takes total American military assistance to Ukraine over $15 billion under the Biden administration. By William Malden. September 8, 2022, 11:46 a.m. Eastern Time. Rzeszów, Poland. Senior U.S. officials visiting Ukraine and Germany announced $675 million in new military assistance to Ukraine and $2 billion in additional funding for that country and other nations in the region, as Kyiv launches offensives to try to retake territory captured by Russian troops this year. The military aid will include rockets for multiple launch rocket systems, 4 105mm howitzers with 36,000 rounds, high-speed missiles to target enemy radar, 5,000 anti-tank missiles, 1,000 anti-tank mines, 100 Humvees, 1.5 million rounds of ammunition for small arms, 50 armored medical treatment vehicles, night vision equipment, small arms and grenade launchers, a State Department spokesman said. In Kyiv, Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the additional $2 billion in foreign military financing to help the country and 18 others in the region bolster their security against threats emanating from Moscow. We know this is a pivotal moment, more than 6 months into Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, as your counteroffensive is now underway and proving effective, Mr. Blinken told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. We are grateful for the signal for this enormous support that you're providing on a day-to-day basis, Mr. Zelensky said. At Ramstein Air Base in Germany, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Ukraine is integrating the capabilities that we all have provided to help themselves to fight and reclaim their sovereign territory. Mr. Austin met with officials from Ukraine, members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and other countries. Mr. Blinken, who met U.S. Embassy staff Thursday and greeted injured children at a hospital in Kyiv, is set to meet NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg in Brussels on Friday. The announcements on Thursday bring the total U.S. military assistance for Ukraine to more than $15 billion under the Biden administration, with most provided since Russia's invasion in February. Washington is aiming to lead other Western countries in providing weapons that will help Ukraine prevail in the long run, officials said. By contrast, Russia has been forced to seek military supplies from North Korea and Iran, in part due to Western sanctions, Mr. Blinken said. U.S. officials are also seeking to rally Western support for Ukraine at a time when Russia is shutting off natural gas flows to Europe and threatening to interrupt the restart of Ukrainian grain exports on the Black Sea. Every day we see the resolve of the allies and partners worldwide who are helping Ukraine resist Russia's illegal, imperial, and indefensible war of conquest, Mr. Austin said. And we must evolve as the fight evolves. U.S. officials are hoping to use coming engagements with NATO countries and the United Nations General Assembly this month to push back against what they see as the Kremlin's attempt to divide countries over Ukraine. Kyiv is pushing dual offensives in eastern and southern Ukraine, increasingly forcing Russia to react to its moves. The eastern offensive near the city of Kharkiv is unexpectedly gaining ground in the latest sign that Ukraine's defenders are retaking territory. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said Thursday that Ukraine's push toward Kharkiv is designed to convince the West of the need to increase the supply of weapons to Kyiv. Russian occupation authorities in eastern Ukraine said they would evacuate women and children from the strategic city of Kupiansk. Write to William Malden at william.malden@wsj.com. Corrections and
All right, so you heard that. So they're going to be giving more money and military aid, Humvees, anti-tank mines, missiles, um, you name it, they're sending it. And like I said, I haven't heard Joe Biden make another mention of Jackson, Mississippi. And we all know they never did resolve the situation in Flint. So they will look the other way, act like those things aren't even happening, but pour money over into a nation that does not even pay taxes over here. But the people in Flint and the people in Jackson, they do pay taxes here. I tell you what, I don't see how no one is noticing how they are blatantly ignoring the problems here in America and got all of their attention on Ukraine. And they're still doing everything they've been doing since the war began, begging. No matter how much the U.S. send, they are begging for more. They are begging for more. They need more. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.